Alright, Shalom. I'm gonna give a call to y'all by Shemel Shai, and back with um, uh, a quick lesson, you know, a quick word, I should say. And one thing that was popping on my mind, you know, over the week, I should say, right, was the book of Malachi, and particularly Malachi 4 and 4. Malachi 4 and 4, right? It states, "Remember ye the Torah um, of Moses, my servant, which I commanded unto him in Hebron, for all Israel with the statutes and judgments," right? So that's a big thing amongst our forefathers, to remember ye, put things in remembrance. Remember what your forefathers did in their triumph, but also in their wickedness, right? Because you need to know their wickedness so you know how to maneuver, right? And I found it funny, right, that in the Hebrew, the Ivrit, right, the word for law is Torah, right? Which means what? Instruction, law, but it also means direction, right? So the Torah is a direction. You know what I'm saying? Follow the direction in which the Most High given unto you, right? The Torah is also our heritage, according to Deuteronomy 33. The Torah is also perfect, according to Psalms 19:7, right? And we got brothers and sisters who calling it deaf, right? Who's calling it deaf? They're calling their heritage deaf. That's what they're saying. But that deaf supposedly was used to make our forefathers triumph in many cases in the scriptures, right? The Torah and Tanakh, you know what I'm saying, is the majority of the scriptures. You know what I'm saying? And we look at the time period of how long we didn't have the New Testament, right? We didn't have the New Testament for at least 400 years. You know what I'm saying? When did the New Testament come about? You know what I'm saying? And if our is our heritage deaf is the question. You know what I'm saying? So I understand both sides of the argument. You know, OT only versus New Testament. You know what I'm saying? And some things may need to be addressed down the line. Will it be addressed? I doubt it, because brothers don't like questions. Brothers don't like to scrutinize. All right, I love textual criticism, right? Because this is in English. I can scrutinize it all I want, because it's not. This is not the Holy Scriptures, right? This is only a translation of it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna repeat it again. This is not the Holy Scriptures. This is only the translation of it. Which means what? If you're gonna call yourself a Hebrew Israelite, you have to learn the language. And if you're Hebrew, learn the Hebrew. Plain and simple. So remember the direction in which Moses came down from Mount Sinai to give unto the children of Israel. Because keeping the dietary law, you know what I'm saying, is going to give you a long life. You know what I'm saying? Obeying your parents is going to give you a long life. You know what I'm saying? You keeping what's morally correct is going to give you a long life. The moral laws, the civil laws, right? How you deal with your people is going to give you a long life. You know what I'm saying? If I got respect for a brother, I'm not going to commit adultery. Which goes into the two greatest commandments, right? Loving the Most High and loving thy neighbor as thyself. So now I understand what these brothers are talking about here in the New Testament, right? There is a precedent, right, with the two greatest commandments, because that means what? Those two commandments are now a priority. You know what I'm saying? And those two commandments really sum up the Torah, right? In essence, right? Because what is the whole Torah really kind of trying to get you to do? How to love the Most High and how to love your neighbor. And if and when we when we learn to love the Most High and our neighbor, we can keep everything else. Some things don't even matter. The fringes, it's not a sin unto death. It's not. You get what I'm saying? I don't understand. You know why brothers be losing their minds. It's not a sin unto death. And then also the etymology of the word fringe and border is literally the same thing. So now you're gonna have to research that. Someone's gonna have to explain why the Babylonians and the Assyrians had the same fringes we wear, or what the modern camps wear. Somebody explain that to me. And don't say that. Don't say that. Oh, the Assyrians took from us, or the Babylonians took from us. Do we understand that fringes are in multiple cultures? You know what I'm saying? So guys really gotta be careful. You know what I'm saying? And what they're saying, what they're doing here. You know what I'm saying? Israel is known also to take customs of the other nations during our captivities. You know what I'm saying? So it's possible that the fringes that brothers and sisters wear today, that's around their shirts, is going off. It's very possible. But I'll let you research that. Me shaving my head bald, it's not a sin unto death. But guys harp on that. It's not. The prophet Ezekiel and Jeremiah shaved their head bald. Paul shaved his head bald. Did we read that part? There's 3 people. So they went off, right? People talking about head coverings. Head coverings is not a sin. It's not a sin unto death. What's going to happen exactly? Do you know the concept of the prayer shawl came from David or Dawada, right? Or David? You know what I'm saying? And first Samuel, where he went up on a mountain and covered his head and started praying. People are not going to read that. So when Paul speaks about, it's a shame for a man to cover his head, he's not speaking according to the Torah. Verse 16 tells you that. He says, I'm not, where there's no law or custom. Which means what? It's not in our history for me to speak against it. I'm telling you that because I'm speaking to the church of Corinth. I'm not a Corinthian, so that doesn't even apply to me. Once again, head coverings is not a sin of death. It's not a sin at all, matter of fact. People make it a sin. That means you're a cultist. That's what that means. A lot of girls is making up a... See, that's adding to the word as well. Our brothers understand that. That's adding to the word. Head coverings is not a sin. I've already done a breakdown on that. Head coverings is not a sin. Let's talk about this pants situation, alright? Deuteronomy 22:5. No one ever reads it in the Ivrit or the Hebrew, right? I don't believe pants is a sin for a woman. I don't. The breeches were made for the priest. Meaning what? The reason why they needed breeches is because they didn't want to have their nakedness in the temple, when they're doing their daily, sacrifices or daily duties to show their nakedness in front of the Most High. Basically, the breeches are basically like boxers. That's all it is. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. So, matter of fact, we're all in trouble because everyone want to pull out Zephaniah 1 or Zephaniah whatever it is, that Zephaniah scripture. You know what I'm talking about. Everyone wants to pull that scripture out and say, oh, well, you know what I'm saying, if women wearing pants, you'll be destroyed in a day, yada yada yada. But here's the thing. You're westernized as well. You've taken over westernized culture too. Do you brothers and sisters wear pants? Brothers and sisters wear clothes of the West. Where's t-shirt in the scriptures? Where's the t-shirt and fringes in the scriptures? Show me. Show me t-shirt and fringes in the scriptures. You're westernized too. You have a westernized philosophy such as t-shirt, because we're supposed to be in our garments, all of us. There's the garments for men and women. So we're all supposed to be wearing our law garments, and then we have the undergarments, right? Which is under your garment, right? So we're not even dressed appropriately as we were in the ancient times. So guys are using their westernized thinking to condemn sisters for what they're wearing today. That don't make any sense. Matter of fact, the ancient prostitutes were covered up. The only thing you can see is their eyes. So, does it make a difference? You know what I'm saying? Guys really need to study, man. Look up ancient prostitutes and see that they're fully clothed. You got prostitutes over in India. They're fully clothed. They're covered from head to toe. And they're prostitutes. So, the clothing, yes, it does matter, right? But these are just examples that I'm saying, like, okay, make it make sense, right? But like, in essence, brothers and sisters, don't fall from the direction and what's the Most High is given. Have a balance on when you read the scriptures. Learn to scrutinize the text and come to your own understanding, right? On what I'm saying, you rationalize, and that's through the language, that's through linguistics, through culture, cultural studies, and don't listen to these men out here that don't know what the hell they're talking about, man. With that, I want to give a call, Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai. Shalom.